Welcome. This is the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, and we are so glad that you've made it to a calmer corner of your day. Here, we focus on real solutions, practical help, and the kind of encouragement we could all use a little more of. So let's get to it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast. I am so glad that you're back here with me. Today, we're going to talk about how to create a morning routine that reduces risk. And here's the thing. Most falls, injuries, and scary moments for older adults happen in the morning. Not because people are careless, but because mornings can be rushed. As we get older, we're more stiff in the morning. I know I am. And things can be unpredictable. For all you know, you can step on the cat as you get out of bed. And by the end of this episode, you'll know how to slow your mornings down, protect your body, and start the day feeling steady instead of stressed. Okay, so let's ease into this together. Mornings are tricky for aging bodies. Your blood pressure is adjusting. Your muscles are usually stiff. Your balance system is still waking up. And your brain may not be fully alert yet. So I have seen this over and over again when I worked as an occupational therapist. Falls didn't usually happen late at night. They usually happen first thing in the morning, right after getting out of bed. So the goal of a safe morning routine is simple. Slow things down, warm the body up, remove rushed decisions. Now, let's start where the day begins. When you wake up, do not just jump out of bed. I know it can be tempting for some of you, but that sudden movement is one of the biggest risk factors for dizziness and falls. Instead, pause, take a minute, sit up slowly, let your feet dangle at the side of the bed. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths, maybe even do a stretch or two. And this gives your blood pressure time to adjust. It also gives your brain a moment to catch up with your body. I always told my patients this. The bed is not a racetrack. It's a runway. Now, once your feet hit the floor, the next risk shows up immediately, and that's cold floors, or poor lighting, or slippers that slide, or a rug that slides. So make sure that your bedside area is set up for success. Good lighting that turns on easily. Maybe lighting that turns on with your voice, or maybe lighting that turns on with a timer. Shoes or slippers with rubber soles that do not slip on the floor. Have nothing on the floor that could trip you. This one change alone can prevent so many accidents. All right, next comes the bathroom. Most people get up and go to the bathroom. Most people rush there in the morning. Don't rush, especially if you feel a little urgent. If you feel a little urgency, don't wait for it to get worse. That rushing to the bathroom can be very dangerous. So walk slowly, take your time. If you need to, hold on to stable surfaces and make sure that the bathroom lights either come on with a motion light or that it's easy to get to them and that they're bright enough for you to see. If your bathroom has throw rugs, which most of ours do, be honest with yourself. Do they slip? Are they old and worn out? If they're not secured, if they slide or slip or you trip over them in any way, that's just an accident waiting to happen. Believe me, I have seen more falls from loose rugs, including bathroom rugs, than I care to count. And unfortunately, many of those falls permanently changed my patient's life. A lot of them were not able to go back home again, and no one wants that. So once you're in the bathroom, slow everything down. Standing too fast after using the toilet can cause lightheadedness. So pause after standing. This is also a great time to check in with your body. Do you feel dizzy? Do you feel weak? Do you feel unsteady? Pay attention to what is happening. Those signals matter. That's your body asking for patience. All right. So the next step usually is getting dressed. So getting dressed can sound harmless, but it may not be for some. Standing on one leg to put on pants is a huge fall risk. My mother used to do this all the time, and it drove me crazy. Instead, sit down. Have something sturdy that you can sit down on when you're putting on your shoes, your socks, your underwear, your pants. Or have the clothing already laid out by your bed, anywhere that you can sit so that you can get dressed there. Take your time. Independence doesn't mean doing everything standing or the way you used to. It just means doing things safely. All right, so after you've washed up a little bit, gotten dressed, the next thing is the kitchen. So this is where I see another common mistake. Skipping food and fluids. Low blood sugar and dehydration make balance worse. They make things fuzzy, they make thinking fuzzy, they increase your fall risk. Even a small breakfast helps, a small piece of toast, a banana, a yogurt, and water. Every morning should begin with at least 8 ounces of water. 16 ounces would be better, but at least 8 ounces of water. Begin that every single morning before your coffee, before anything. And after that, you can have your coffee and your tea and juice and whatever. Your body has been without fluids all night long, so it needs rehydrating. And water is the easiest way to do that. Now, here's something most people never think about, the morning medications. Some medications can cause dizziness, especially first thing in the day, and worse if you haven't eaten anything. If you notice that you feel unsteady after taking your medication, that's important information. First, you should speak to your physician about that. But if you do feel unsteady at any point in time, definitely sit for a few minutes after taking them. Avoid bending or rushing right afterward, and definitely do not drive. If dizziness keeps happening, that's absolutely, I'll repeat again, it's worth a conversation with your doctor. Okay, now let's talk about movement. Now I'm not talking about exercise, although it's a good idea to have exercise in the morning. I'm talking about a gentle wake-up movement. Before you tackle your chores or your errands or whatever it is you're going to do that day, warm up your body. March in place while holding on to the counter. Do a few ankle pumps. Roll your shoulders. This tells your nervous system, hey, we're awake now. It's like turning on the lights in your brain. Now, I tend to do this when I first wake up. I don't wait until I get dressed and all of that. This is something that I do while I'm at bedside. It's a great way for me to just start waking up. So I like to think of it like turning the lights on in my brain. Hey, I'm up. Let's get moving. All right. So another big risk factor that I see in the morning, or I saw with so many of my patients, is a distraction. And that could be anything from phones, television, or even trying to multitask. So many of us growing up were so used to multitasking, especially mothers and fathers, doing 8 things for children and themselves and everything all at once. But multitasking is something that is not safe as we get older. I myself have stopped doing that because I noticed that I make a lot of mistakes while I'm trying to do that. In the morning is definitely not the time to rush or juggle tasks. Focus on one thing at a time. Walk and then talk. Stand and then reach. So if you're trying to cook your eggs and reach for the bacon in the fridge at the same time while you're cooking your eggs, don't. Try. Just do one thing at a time. Get everything out. Put it out there for you to access right away, instead of having to walk back and forth to do whatever it is that you need to do to make your breakfast. Multitasking definitely increases fall risk at any age, but especially as we get older. So now let's talk a little bit about footwear. I know I spoke a little bit about slippers before, but I want to mention footwear again. Bare feet or socks on hard floors are risky. I have several friends who insist that they walk much better with bare feet all the time in their house. And honestly, they're the ones that have the most foot problems of anyone that I know. But I cannot convince them. So I am hoping here to tell you that bare feet or socks on hard floors are risky. So choose shoes that fit well with a closed back and absolutely non-slip soles. Think of footwear as safety equipment, not fashion. So here's another habit that I love to encourage: to build in a pause throughout your day. It's anything like sit by a window while you sip your coffee. Drink your coffee slowly. Take 5 quiet minutes. This reduces your stress hormones, and stress does truly affect balance more than people realize. A calm nervous system is a safer nervous system. All right, now finally, let's talk about mindset. A safe morning routine is not about fear, it's about respect for your body. Your body may take longer to wake up now. That's not failure, that's information. When you listen to it, to your body, you reduce risk. When you rush, you increase danger. I always remind families of this too. If you're caring for someone older, don't rush them in the morning. Build in extra time. So let me wrap this all up for you. A safer morning means slow transitions, good lighting, supportive footwear, food and fluids, gentle movement, and patience. Those small choices protect independence in a very, very big way. It's a simple way to keep yourself safe and living independently longer. Well, that's it for today. Thank you again for being here with me. If today's episode gave you some useful insights or new ideas, then share it with someone who might find it helpful too. You can discover even more expert tips and helpful guides for seniors and caregivers at seniorsafetyadvice.com. And if you're searching for an aging in place specialist, then visit our website at aginginplacedirectory.com. And come back tomorrow for even more useful tips, insights, and ideas right here on the Senior Safety Advice podcast. And hey, if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel or the podcast, go ahead and do that right now. It really helps us reach more people who could use this kind of support and information. So until next time, take care of yourself and the ones that you love.
This podcast is part of our mission to help older adults live safely and independently. If you'd like to take the next step, visit aginginplacedirectory.com, where you'll find specialists, helpful resources, and inspiration to make every home your place to thrive.